Like your attitude, Troy.
10:30.
I hate puppies.
Tell me.
Stu, what do you
Good
think?
podcast.
That's right.
Really?
I feel threatened.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, the only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems and hopefully helping you figure out what you should be drinking this weekend. And Lord knows it's a drinking time of year. The holidays.
It's not Pepsi milk.
No pilk this week.
No.
But the holidays are upon us, and that means the drinking is in full force. Hey, Troy, do you mind putting those in the fridge? I just totally...
Yeah, let's keep these cold.
Yeah, I just realized that I did not have those in the fridge. Is there any room in there?
Oh, yeah.
I like your attitude. You see how confident he sounded, people? That's what I like about Troy. It's the confidence.
Always in a great mood, right? That's me.
Yes.
Objection. Hearsay.
I would like to say yes, Troy.
I would like to say that as well.
We'll tear down the fourth wall a little bit here. Going into this episode, we were not too amped up. We were not. We were both standing here looking across from each other going, oh, man, I'm not feeling it tonight. I think tonight's not going to be a great night. And
Complaining.
we were sitting here,
grumpy.
sitting here writing down the topics, trying to figure out what it is we were going to do tonight. And then right before we hit record, I'll be damned if the door didn't just swing open. Ely walked in. His wife walked in.
Yep.
Another one of his buddies and his wife walked in, and this just turned into a bit of a impromptu Christmas party.
And they were fired up.
They were fired up.
Yeah.
They were coming from a holiday party. And so I just had multiple beers.
On a Wednesday.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
And then just funny that they just swung the door open like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Like, Ely, what are you doing?
Yeah, because earlier we were like, hey, we sent out the bat signal. Hey, we're podcasting. And, of course, no one is available. But to rub salt in the wounds, Ely's like, I'm actually like 2 miles from your house, but I can't make it to the podcast. And I was just like, yep, that checks out.
But then he just showed up.
But then he showed up.
Which is kind of awesome.
Gave us a little shot in the ass, and now we're ready to rock.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like I'm more into it right now.
For sure.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Just testing something.
Yep, that killed your mic.
Yep, good. I should probably do those kind of things going into the show.
When he first opened the door, I didn't see anybody else, and I thought, oh, damn, he's going to, he figured it out.
Yeah, I just thought, oh, snap, we got a third mic.
Yeah.
Let's set this up and get rolling. He's like, nah, man, I don't want to be here.
2-week surprise Elys don't happen.
Not very often.
I mean, I know it's Christmas time, but that's greedy.
Well, let's hope we can arrange for it in the next couple of weeks for a holiday drink challenge. Which
we're about out of time on it.
Well, I figure next week we got to do the holiday drink challenge.
Next week will be the one, because we're what, a week and a couple days from Christmas as you hear this, and as we record it, actually.
Yeah, and Hanukkah's closer than that.
Hanukkah's closer than that.
That's like next week.
Yeah, the 18th.
So I mean, it's all coming.
Oh yeah,
like a freight train.
Sunday is the 18th, I think.
It's always an interesting time of year because everybody is drinking more.
Everybody.
Like it's crazy. The people who don't drink, or people who don't have a reason not to drink.
Yeah.
Are like people who just aren't regular drinkers. All drink more during this time of year.
Yes.
And I'm seeing that ramp up happening dramatically.
Already seeing it, huh?
It's everywhere.
You know what I saw today? I've noticed in the past couple weeks, today we're recording this on the 14th, we've gotten 2 or 3 Christmas cards. And
in total,
which isn't a lot for halfway to Christmas.
No, usually that at first week you see the tryhards.
Yeah.
Those tryhards kill me.
Yeah,
dude.
You're like, especially with the professional pictures on top of, and then like.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm putting away, I'm still eating Thanksgiving leftovers and your card shows up. I'm marking you down as a tryhard.
Yeah. But then today we got like 6 or 7. And it's funny because today I sent ours out. So like we're behind too, but I guess it's like everybody's a little behind.
Ours go out tomorrow.
Yeah.
So in fact, you got yours.
Yeah.
So you're
you and I just handed them off.
Yeah, because stamps are expensive.
I went around, dude, speaking of, I had no idea. I went around and dropped 20 cards off in the neighborhood this afternoon after work. But I had to buy stamps. I didn't know stamps had jumped up. I knew they were around 50 cents. 100 stamps was $59 and change.
Yeah, it's pricey right now. Everything's pricey.
Yeah.
But they have to bump stamps up because not as many people are using the mail. But you still got to keep these people on the road.
And I still can't complain about stamps. Like, I still feel like a
good
stamp
system.
is like, well, it's an awful system.
No, but I'm saying like
I'm sure the government's taking it on the chin, but
for
like
less than $1,
for the consumer,
I put something in a box outside of my house. It magically makes its way to the other side of the country.
In another box outside someone else's house.
Yeah, I mean it's a good system.
I mean, I won't say it's a good system. I'm sure it's run very inefficiently and
No, it's government.
costs the government way more than what we put into it.
Well, that's why they keep jacking up the price of the stamps. And every year, like I went to go buy stamps this year. First off, I stood in line for 45 minutes at the post office because I had one thing I had to send.
Yes.
And then I had to get stamps. And I know you can go buy stamps in like the thing, but I always like to buy like the holiday stamps, and those are at the place. So I got there, and they were literally down to Diwali.
Yeah.
That is the Festival of Lights.
Yeah. That's Hanukkah.
No. That's also.
Oh, is that what Diwali claims too?
I think so. I guess I should look.
I mean, Hanukkah is the festival of lights. So says Adam Sandler.
Well, and come on now, Adam Sandler's the man.
Yeah.
So I will give you that.
It might be Diwali might be the festival of lights too.
So November 12th was Diwali. Diwali, also known as the Festival of Lights.
Okay, you're right.
So they're both
They're
both considered.
copyright.
Yeah, I wonder who had that first.
I wonder how the Jewish people haven't, litigated this out and figured out how to
I don't know.
make claims to it.
I'm sure that's been dragging on for a long time.
Yeah.
Going through the various courts. But there was Diwali, and there was Kwanzaa, and there was Hanukkah, but they were all out of Christmas.
What'd you get?
So I ended up getting women rowing and muscle cars.
Nice.
Yeah. And so as I was like going through, I would like take, because that's my job. I'm stamp guy. I put stamps on. And I would be like, I was like, oh, that dude loves cars. Poof, muscle car. Because I only got like 40 muscle cars and I had hundreds of women rowing.
Yeah.
So most everyone's getting a woman rowing, but if you're a car guy, you get a card from me.
Nice.
Boom. It's like a 67 Mustang.
I love doing the cards and I love receiving the cards, but they've gotten to be where they're really expensive. Like my wife doesn't get like the photo paper ones anymore. She gets like the nice card stock.
Oh, it's a kill.
And we buy them by I think 100 of them probably, and then you got to buy all the stamps and all that. Like, I wonder what would the cost be where you're like, okay, we got to stop doing this because it's got to be getting up there, right? Like each one's probably
you can change it. Like my pops writes a letter.
Yeah, but that's time consuming.
Yeah, but that's what he's got is time.
Yeah.
So like he literally writes a letter and then he just prints them.
Yeah.
And then he just mails them up.
Oh, he writes one letter.
He writes one letter that tells how everybody in the family's doing.
But I like seeing the pictures of what everybody's been up to the past calendar year.
Yeah, if there's ever a picture, it'll be like the grandkids, and it's like printed out on the printer.
Oh,
so it's
God.
it's like everyone looks good.
No one's looking forward to your dad's Christmas letters.
Now there's usually like a good joke or two,
but
then there's always like
the ones at the end like are the ink's running out.
Yeah, and you'll get like. And in true Irish fashion, like he doesn't often sugarcoat like sad parts too.
Oh yeah,
he'll be like, "Well,
we lost so and so this year.
So and so passed away. Horrible death.
Oh my god!
It's like, oh god. So like, he'll have the funny parts. He'll tell you if someone's doing well, and he'll tell you if someone's doing poorly.
Wow,
it's Christmas.
Does he brag on his grandkids?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Which is always funny when like you get a grandkid like. So-and-so's doing great. And then like the other one is like, won this award. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
That stuff happens.
And so-and-so is, so-and-so.
I think this year, like...
When they just repeat the name, that's always good.
Yeah.
Brendan.
I didn't see a lot of like accolades from coming out of our house this year.
Oh,
like,
no.
Like, and everyone at the Kennedy's house still breathing. I was like, all right, I'll take it. I mean, I guess
they're above ground, so they're crushing it.
Yeah, in the end, I mean, that's positive.
Because I'm thinking, like, I got to be in, like, $2 a card at this point.
Yeah, you're actually showing somebody like I give a shit.
Yeah.
Like I cared enough to send you a card.
But then, like, I see some of the people I send cards to, and I'm like, dude, should I trim the fat here? Like,
well, my problem is at the end of the year you get like 10 or 12 back.
yeah,
And
for
so you're
wrong, for wrong addresses.
But then you got to think that takes somebody to actually go return to sender and put it back.
yeah,
Whereas I get ones like that, and I'm like, oh, cool. So and so got a card, and I'll just hang. I don't put it back. I'll be like,
Yeah.
boom. I don't know these people.
Yep.
Wife's hot. Put it up. You know?
You ever hear the cheat on how to save a bunch of money on stamps?
No.
Flip the addresses.
So like the return address. Holy crap! That's brilliant.
You just drop it in the mailbox at the post office. They'll be like, it's not your house, so they'll be like, oh, somebody forgot to put stamps on this one. Of course, it'll be mixed in with a bunch of others that don't have stamps. And they'll be like, well, I guess we're sending it back to where it came from.
That's kind of funny.
But why did it get mailed out of Chesterfield and it needs to go to Nova?
Yeah. They drove all the way down here. What a bunch of idiots. I actually tried to convince my wife, and she did not bite on this. I was like, if we take a family photo, I was like, can we just like find a, because oftentimes we take family photos like out in the park.
Yeah.
It's somewhere and there's other people rolling around, right? I would like to find some random middle-aged person and be like, hey, do me a favor and get in here.
That like looks like you?
No.
Oh.
In fact, specifically, I don't want them to look anything like me. Like I want them to be.
Because I think it'd be funny to find one that kind of looked like you, and then you did like a far away picture to be where like, is that Brenton? He looks different though.
No, you see, I'd like a rando, like a true, like a homeless person.
Oh my God.
Where I could be like, hey man, I'm gonna give you $5. I want to find like the most disheveled looking person possible.
Okay.
Get them in the family photo specifically for the Christmas card, and then send it out, have all of our names, and then be like, and Frank. And just send it out, because a lot of these people haven't talked to us or seen us in forever.
Yeah.
I want them to be like,
yo,
what the fuck happened in the last year? Like, did they take in this homeless guy? Like,
it'd also be good to know who actually looks at them.
yeah, because like certain
if I
people-
never called you or brought it up, you'd be like, you like my card? Be like, oh yeah, it was great.
nice card.
Yeah.
Thanks for sending one.
Yeah.
Did you get ours? You're like, you didn't look at it, because Frank is a 75-year-old
Yeah.
homeless guy who obviously didn't.
Oh, I just thought that was you. Thought you'd let yourself go.
No,
Someone's gonna think that, right?
No, because I'd be in it.
Oh, okay. He'd be the extra guy.
Yeah, I'm saying like do a family photo, but then like while you're at the park,
I thought you
be
meant like swap out.
no, you find that homeless guy and be like, hey man, I'll give you $5 if you just come over here and snap a couple photos. with the
$5
fam."
makes you sound like an asshole.
$10. What do I have to do to get a photo?
I'm gonna go 20, 25.
I don't know what heroin costs.
It sounds like a good amount.
Get $20.
Or maybe it gets you there. I don't know. But I feel like $5 is insulting.
I feel
You're
like
obviously mocking.
I'm not okay. I get that I sound like I'm mocking.
Yes.
So if I go somewhere between $10 and $20, to me, it's an investment in a hilarious Christmas card.
Yes.
And my wife does not get the joke.
I do like funny Christmas cards.
I just think it'd be see who. But my wife's like, no.
Yeah.
This is messed up. It's about the family. I'm like, it's kind of funny. Like people would be like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And then you just get to be like, I was just messing around.
Yeah.
To me, that's funny.
I would laugh. All the guys would laugh.
Yeah, she didn't get it. She didn't get it.
Did you expect her to?
Yeah. Despite being with her all these years, I still think one day she's gonna wake up and be like, Brendan, you're fucking funny. Like I get your jokes. Like you got some good ideas.
Yeah, that'll happen.
It doesn't.
No, it will.
It
will. Just keep holding your breath.
isn't it crazy though how like we just continue to think that something's gonna change one day?
We do, don't we?
We do.
And I bet they do.
Oh yeah. But like I expect that.
But what's
like,
crazy is neither will tell the other person, right?
oh, I brought it up. I was like, no, why would I do that?
You mean
But,
like the funny thing or something else?
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. I'm like, all right, I did this. Tonight's going to be the craziest sex of my life.
Yeah.
Not only was it not the craziest sex of my life,
Crickets.
nothing happened. You know, it's like it just, I don't know why I
Yeah.
think it's going to change, but I guess it's like eternal optimism.
It's something that, and I can only speak for the married guy, and well, the guys I know. I can't speak for the women because they don't talk to women about these things. But definitely, all the men I know have that eternal optimism of like,
yeah, we all
this will
believe
be the time.
this is gonna work.
Yeah,
like
she'll come around finally.
Yeah, I'm finally gonna do the thing.
Yeah,
that she's been waiting on all this time. I thought for sure getting her that damn dog. I drove out to West Virginia. I was like, this is it. This is the turning point. She's gonna be a totally different person. Nope. Now she just has a dog.
Yeah.
Deaf dog. Loves that dog more than me.
I guess at this point we're all stupid to assume that would happen, right? Because why would it? Like,
but at the same time, when that optimism dies,
yeah,
then what are you fighting for? Like,
That's true.
you need to maintain that. I think that's when you give up. When you go, nothing's gonna work. That's actually the kiss of death.
I'm with you.
Whereas I'm still thinking this is gonna work.
Oh, I still walk into my house, and if like the kids aren't there and the wife beats me home, I'm like, today's the day.
Oh, this is about to get
Yeah.
crazy.
She's gonna be dressed to the hilt, and
Yeah. She's going to be in the Mrs. Claus outfit and come down.
Exactly.
Like, unwrap your present, big boy.
Yeah.
Nah, dude. Never happens. Not only that, you walk in and she's like, oh, good. Kids aren't here. Perfect time to change all the sheets.
Exactly.
What? No, why would I want to do all the sheets?
Yeah.
Today, I had an hour and a half in the middle of the day. There was no meetings. I was like, I can't believe this just happened. I blew all the leaves out of everything.
Yeah.
Blew them out. Mulched the whole yard. Like, I mean, it was perfect. And I was like, she's going to come home so fucking excited.
Yep.
She sees all the yard work I
Put it on me.
in the middle of a full day.
Yep.
And I'm helping the kids with homework. Like, I have crushed it. I'm like, here it comes. She was like, well, tonight we got to do Christmas cards. I was like, this is not.
Is that code? Is that something you're on Urban Dictionary trying to figure it out? Is that some new hot shit I don't even know about?
Yeah.
The Christmas cards?
Like this,
I can't wait to do the Christmas cards.
just vabbing on the envelopes.
I seriously licked like 100 Christmas cards last night. Like, I stuffed them, put the return sticker, the not the return, the sender sticker, and then the return stamp, and like stacked them all. And I was like, all right,
this is it. She's gonna be going nuts. Like, she's gonna see all of the effort that I put in.
She, in my wife's defense, she designed them, ordered like
No, they do. Yeah. They do all of it. Oh, and that's the fucked up thing. They do all that.
Yeah, they do most of it, and then we're still like, but check us out over here.
Yeah, we're still sitting on the couch eating popcorn. And they're like, this son of a bitch. So I'm look, I guarantee it cuts both ways.
For sure.
They're like, I did all the things and he didn't do shit.
Yeah.
No, I get it. It's just,
so I guess everyone just feels like they're not appreciated.
you got it. Happy holidays. That's basically it.
I hope that's not true. I do hope my wife knows how much I appreciate her.
Do you tell her?
Yeah.
No, then
But
that's
I mean,
a start.
a lot of people tell people.
Yeah, I get
stuff.
told
Yeah,
that too.
Yeah.
Like, my wife came home, she said the driveway looked good. I'm like, that's literally a tenth of what I did.
Yeah.
But she noticed it.
Yeah.
But then in my mind, I was like, well, she shouldn't notice it all. We should be upstairs.
Yeah. She should be ripping my clothes off at this point.
Yeah, I can't. You're such a man.
Yeah.
You're like the liver king. Look at you. You're such a man.
I do mix y'all up from time to time.
The liver king and I?
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear you say that because I have been eating liver and testicles pretty steadily for months now.
It's paying off.
I think so. I'm starting to get huge.
Well, when you follow his strict regimen, I mean, you can't
not get swole.
can't not get ripped and swole, which is a weird,
But he can do it all. And it all comes down
to eating raw liver.
just eating raw liver, testicles, and just living that
Just
kind of
living a good, healthy, clean life.
clean caveman lifestyle. And that's
It's a proven fact.
well, he's proven it
He's a walking, talking billboard.
for the fact that we need to get back to our roots.
I just can't get past eating the liver. The bull balls, I'm come around on.
More.
I didn't, for the longest time, I wouldn't even look that dude up. I'd heard a ton about him. I was like, I can't even look this dude up. And then he was on enough news articles. I finally read one and literally saw him just pick a piece of fucking liver, a whole liver up, and just bite into it like a lion. And I mean, that was foul.
It's pretty gross.
It's not pretty gross.
His appendix is working.
I don't understand. We're like throwing a little fire underneath of it for a few minutes is like gonna wreck it. You know, like that's what I've never understood about that raw food shit. Like, I feel like a little heat goes a long way
For flavor, but not for nutrients.
You burn off all the nutrients. Is that the argument? And is that a fact?
Well, all right, here's what I can tell you. When you like cook meat, you know the charred part that tastes so damn good?
Yeah.
That's the part that has more carcinogens than any other part. Like that charred part.
Okay.
So like the more you cook it, the more carcinogenic it becomes.
But is it carcinogenic when it's cooked over like clean burning fuel?
I mean, if you don't char it, I don't know that it gets more carcinogenic.
Okay.
But I know the char is like the worst. But then they say, you know, you steam vegetables, you cook vegetables, they lose a ton of their nutrients.
I have heard that. Yeah.
So like you want to eat the raw veggie,
Yeah.
that's better for you. So if you follow that logic and you can extend it to meat,
Steaming does seem like it would rip more out of it, right?
dude, it just rips it out and turns it into, you know,
Yeah,
vapor and it's gone.
And the food turns to mush.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, tonight my wife made some food and like she was like, this is severely undercooked. Like she was bummed. She was like this, what is it, squash? She's like, this squash is just, it's undercooked. And I was like, well, that's good. Like
Yeah.
that means we're getting a ton of vitamins because it tastes great. Like, yeah, it's a little crunchier, but like I'm happy. Like I'm getting, because I didn't get anything of nutritional value in my system today. So I was like, this is good. So I ate more of that. So I tend to believe in that. But the Liver King, it's because I'm a Liver King disciple.
Yeah. Always have been.
I follow I follow what he does, the letter to the law. It's all testicles and liver. And apparently now I'm going to do a couple $1,000 of steroids every month too.
Wait, what?
Yeah. That's
The
new
Liver
thing.
King?
That's the new thing.
Is there another Liver King? Because my Liver King would never do such a thing.
You would think. So we've talked about the Liver King on the podcast before, and because I always found his shtick to be awesome. But let's be honest. Did you ever think that he was 100% natural? I mean, I know he kept saying it, but did you think there was no steroids involved there?
Yeah, all joking aside, not for 1 second.
Not for a second.
Not for a second.
I was like, look at the sheer amount of steroids.
But that being
my man's
said,
doing.
I've never thought any of those guys that are built to the hilt are clean.
Because I don't think you can be.
I don't think you can be.
It's an impossible standard.
Yeah.
Like if you're all natural, you can get to a certain level and it can look fine.
I mean, every guy I know has gone through a period in his life where he has been clean living for
Yeah.
you know as much as you can, counting calories, eating better foods, working out 5, 6, 7 times a week, doing cardio, losing weight, building muscle, maybe getting a 6-pack, kind of rare when that happens, right?
Yeah.
And like those guys weren't, you never look like the guys you see in the gym. And obviously it's not a 1-to-1 because those guys are, you know, they're telling you they're working out, you know, 3 times a day for 2 hours at a time. And, you know, it's it's their job. So, I mean, you can't really compare 1-to-1, but it's very rare to see that kind of result.
I'm currently an example of about as much as you can do.
Yeah.
Like eating well, monitoring calories, working out often. I certainly do not look like the Liver King.
No.
I look like I could probably, you know, lift the groceries.
You almost look more like the Liver King when you had more weight on you.
That's exactly it. You have to carry all that extra weight.
Yeah.
You have to carry all that.
It's like the strongest men in the world. Like those guys
Those
aren't.
dudes are steroided up. Like who are we fooling? So
But they're big. They're also not, you know.
They're not shredded.
Yeah.
He was shredded.
But he was
and
barrel chested. Like it was weird.
Yeah. Like, and so I believe maybe some of the stuff he was saying is accurate. Sure.
Yeah.
I think that there's probably value in eating boatloads of raw protein.
Yeah.
Sure. I also think that it helps tremendously if you're doing a ton of steroids and eating right.
Yeah, what did he say he was doing? It was like how many thousands of dollars?
Dude, it was like damn near 10 grand a month or something.
I mean,
Steroids.
that's not.
That's a good steroid regimen.
And I've always said this of anyone who uses steroids. I'm all for it. If that's what you want to do, I'm cool with it. And I definitely don't take anything away because it's not like you just do steroids and you look like that.
No, I had a buddy who just after college, he did it in college and then he did it after college. He did a cycle of steroids, but he never worked out.
Did he really think that was going to do something?
He said he liked the way it made him feel.
He liked the rage?
Just the testosterone being back in his body and everything. He was like, no, I feel good. He's like, I'm focused.
That's an interesting concept.
But he didn't get, clearly he didn't get big.
Didn't get anything.
Like if you put in the work and you're doing steroids, you're going to look great.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're going to be healthy.
Yeah.
But you're going to look
good.
Great.
Yeah.
Liver King was probably...
And I should say, look, air quotes, good. Good. You're going to have that look. Whether or not it's looking good, that's to everyone else's.
You're going to have that bloated, swollen, ass
muscular.
look.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to look like a dude that other dudes are going to get out of the way for.
Yes.
And that's kind of all guys are looking for, right?
Yeah.
There's two things we want. We want women to go, ooh, I want to bang you.
Yeah.
And we want dudes to go, no, you were next. That's it.
You know what's weird about guys too is, yeah, you can have that look by working your ass off and or doing steroids, but that's not a guarantee either because you see some of those guys and you're like, I don't buy it. And then some fat guys you're like, don't even look twice at that dude. And then even some regular guys just have that look where you're like, yeah, I wouldn't tussle that guy. Like,
nah.
It's like it's a way you carry yourself. It's
all that.
It's you can't really. It's not one look, even though most people would think, oh, it's the big muscular guy when it's not.
Well, and that's why the Liver King never wore a shirt. So like at least then you're like, oh
Yeah.
no, he's a monster.
Yeah.
Like he's huge. But so I'm hoping, I really do hope this is an opportunity. Now he's like, he says that it's because, his self-esteem was low, that he's been battling depression.
Yeah.
And that all of the things he's saying, he's trying to help people who are like him. And so he didn't want to say the steroids because he truly believes that the clean living, the protein, and the working out and living this ancestral lifestyle will get you to a better place. And sure, I kind of believe that.
A lot of people buy into that, motivational guys.
Yeah, he was a motivational speaker, is
Yeah.
basically what he had become. Now, it made him a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was on the backbone of steroids. But what I'm hoping, what I would really like to see is that I'd like to see him embrace it.
Yeah.
Say, look, this is true, but the reality is, because if really what it is about to him is self-esteem and mental illness and depression and all this, if he could embrace it and say, look, that's the reality, but the truth is no one looks exactly like this without that.
Yeah.
Because already Joe Rogan has now called out The Rock.
Yeah.
He's like, why don't you admit it? I would love to see this become like the waterfall of people just admitting.
Different for The Rock, though, right?
I mean, would you fault The Rock for doing steroids?
I would not, but
Does The Rock do steroids?
I would say yes.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing. The Rock has positioned himself as a, example for children.
So did
So you
Hulk
got to
Hogan.
be careful.
Hulk Hogan was over here doing steroids and cocaine, and what did he
But
say?
he didn't admit to it. Where the Liver King isn't that guy.
No. But I think
I don't want my kids' heroes being like, yay, steroids and cocaine.
But I think it would. See, this is where I'm torn. I agree with you there.
Yeah.
But I do also think that
But-
if somebody like The Rock came out and said, look, the difference of me getting this movie role
Yeah.
is doing these steroids and working out versus not doing the steroids and then not being an
Or
action
do like
star.
a before and after picture. Like, here's what I look at, peak, clean. Here's what I look at,
Yeah,
look like peak.
like for my career,
Yeah.
I have to do steroids or I'm not going to get put in this movie.
Yeah, because it is unfair to basically sell a false bill of goods that,
That's what I'm getting at.
basically the Popeye shit. Like,
It's unachievable.
eat your spinach and you will be a beast. Like, really? Come on now.
And that was Hogan's whole thing. Drink
Yeah.
your milk, eat your vegetables.
But even Hogan, at his prime, but like most of Hogan's life, like he wasn't He didn't look like The Rock. I mean,
because he was a piece of shit.
he had the big pythons.
He had the big pythons, but he was drinking and eating whatever and working out and
He
doing
was
stuff.
what do they call it? Like beach strong, like big chest,
Yeah.
big biceps. It's a
That's-
chest and bicep day every day.
Let's be honest. That's all I strive for.
Yeah.
I'm beach muscles
Oh yeah.
through the roof. Like, you're like, hey, could you carry these pails of water? I'm like, absolutely not. If you want me to lay down on a bench and push those pails of water up and down, that's
Yeah,
where I live.
yeah.
I can curl them.
Yep.
I can't. No, carrying them. That's
Like
extended.
yeah,
that's,
maybe 5-10 feet. I could do that.
That's real strength. No. You want that? You go to a
that
village.
brings my legs into play.
Yeah, you go into like a village in Africa and these women are carrying all this stuff, like perfectly normal. Like they could carry the whole household.
300 pounds of water outstretched on their across
Yeah,
their
on
arms,
their
on their
head,
head,
on their-
yeah, on their back.
That's strength.
Yeah.
That's real strength. I do not have that.
Yeah.
My arms
all
hurt.
the core strength.
No, I
yeah.
don't have that.
That sounds like a lot of work. So we should do
lot of work.
steroids.
Boom.
Like all our heroes.
But don't you think it would actually help people who have like self-esteem issues if they said, look, the truth is that I could never have attained this if I didn't do this. You can do great things naturally, but I'm a movie star. I have to be a false.
I think it would help on some level, but I also think there's just certain people out there that have self-esteem issues that are never going to, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I knew a dude in college who had more luck with the ladies, and the dude was tall, thin, and not good looking at all. And he had the confidence of the most confident person I'd ever seen. And then I knew guys who were like hunky, good looking dudes who
No
would
confidence.
Yeah, who would still think, oh, why would anybody date me? It's like, you're a catch, dude. Not really, blah. I got it's like these are just instilled in you, and I don't know where they're instilled in, or even if you're born with it. I mean,
I think you kind of are.
Yeah.
I think you have certain imbalances or balances.
I have two boys raised in the same household. One is super cocky, and the other is very modest. And I would say that the cocky one, he's no more or less of an athlete or anything. Like he's just always been.
Because reality doesn't play into ego.
Yeah,
It really doesn't.
true.
And that's why I kind of wish everyone would just come out and go, yeah, I've been doing steroids and just end it.
But on the other side of that coin, think of all.
Then it encourages people to do steroids.
Well, no, I'm talking about women. Think of what women have to deal with. Like none of those, none of the quote unquote beauties that are on TV and everything, like they get all the work done. None of them own up to any of that stuff.
But don't we talk about the impossible standards that women portray? Like you see,
well,
these
that's true
models
too, because
who
we don't
eat,
talk about that with men.
We don't.
Which I always laugh at because outside of every dumbass dad that's in every sitcom who looks like he's a 4 and he's married to an 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Like most movie stars and stuff, they're almost impossible for average guys to look like.
But we only talk about
But
the,
we don't- yeah,
the
nobody
female
cares about
side of
that.
it. They're like, that's an impossible standard.
You
And
mean
I'm
you
like,
don't have a
it is.
32 waist and you're not 6'4" with super broad shoulders and
Yeah, and just shooting up steroids, getting swole. Like I think it should be an honest, open conversation across the board. And if you want to look like that, you can do that.
knock yourself out.
But I don't think you should because there's probably ramifications. But if it means the difference between getting a multi-million-dollar job opportunity, so whatever that may be,
Yeah.
wrestling, movies, I don't give a shit.
Sports.
If it means the difference between getting a multi-million-dollar opportunity or being a bank teller, fucking do it.
Yeah,
if you're that close,
Well, and I'd rather you go through, the proper, go through a doctor, be monitored.
yeah, own it. Own it. There's a big difference in owning it.
Yeah, instead of just doing some black market shit, not because you don't want anybody to know. So you're getting your buddy who's getting his buddy to get you some,
And we live in a day and age where doctors will give you steroids now because it's become a thing where you be like, look, I got low T. I got a buddy. This was the greatest low T move I ever saw. This dude got a cycle of illegal steroids. Got himself all like jacked up, right?
This is I can see where this is
like,
going.
Worked out all the time, got all swole, right? And then as soon as he got off of the steroids, he knew that in that moment his body was making zero testosterone.
Yeah.
So we waited a week, let his body go into absolute shock.
Yeah.
Went and took the low T test, and they were like, "Holy crap, man.
Holy cow.
You got the testosterone of an 80-year-old woman. Like, we need to give you all the testosterone."
Yeah.
So now at least he has a doctor that at least is monitoring him. But now they're like, well, your levels are through the roof. But he's like, yeah, but I'm happy with it. Like, we'll stay here. But at least someone's monitoring it.
Yeah.
Like, you can game the system a little bit.
Yeah, but that whole low T thing scares me because isn't the whole point of that, like, once you start injecting it and or taking it, however you take it to the doctor, your body does stop making it, right?
Yes. So you're kind of stuck on it forever.
Yeah, so I don't want my body to stop making it at my age. I feel like that's way too young, and I don't want to be taking pharmaceuticals for the rest of my life either.
Yeah, I'm trying something different.
When do guys stop that?
Stop what? Taking?
Like if you have low T, when would you technically stop taking it?
When you don't have the money to do it.
So you would take it into your 80s?
Yeah.
I mean, this is to make you feel better.
Yeah, because
the testosterone makes you feel better.
You feel younger.
Okay.
You know, you repair quicker. So, like, when you hurt yourself, you heal faster.
Okay.
Testosterone plays into all of that stuff, and that makes you feel better. You know, if you're 70 years old and you have zero libido.
How do you know if you have low T?
You have to go to the doctor.
Okay, but I mean, but are there, like, some signs that would say...
Yeah, low libido.
Okay.
Lethargic.
Check.
Dick not working as well as it used to. But I mean, these are all the signs that you're looking for.
Well, is that ED?
Well, but ED can come from... There's only a couple different things that cause ED. One is low testosterone. One is blood pressure issues.
You don't even have to go to a doctor for ED medicine per the TV.
No, you literally call up. Yeah. You call up and you go, hey, it's not working. And they go,
that seems weird.
It's interesting. It's interesting, but that's just
that must have been a legal fucking huge hurdle.
Well, it's a real doctor on the other end.
I know, but like the way we're so litigious, like it surprises me that whoever signs off on that stuff signed off on it. Be like, wait, what? You want to prescribe prescription medicines without actually seeing and talking to someone?
But think about it. Think about it. You go to a urologist, right?
I guess whoever checked it off was getting a kickback.
Yeah, but so you go to the urologist, right? Doc says, "How's it working?" And you go, "It's not working." He goes, "Oh, what do you mean?" He goes, "It just doesn't work." And he goes, "Oh man, have you tried this?" And he gives it to you. It's not like you go in there and the doctor jerks you off for 5 minutes, and if you don't get hard, he goes, "You're right."
What kind of doctor are you going to?
Your doctor jerks you. Okay, it's different.
Yeah, but it's my optometrist.
Of course. I just had my eyes checked this week. I never came so hard in my life. He's got leathery hands, but there's something about the way he looks at you.
Well, it's dark in that room, and without my glasses, I can't really see much.
Well, when they dilate the pupils, you know, it's like, it's great.
Got a real high-pitched voice. You can kind of get into it.
Yeah, he dilates my pupils, and then he turns the lights on. So then I really can't see anything. And then, you know, we check the boner.
Then I let my imagination run wild.
It goes. It just goes. But
no, I see what you're... look, believe me.
They're not physically checking you.
Look,
it's just a conversation.
I agree. My counter-argument is how litigious we are. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
That's what surprises me. I'm not saying you have to see someone to really get a good feel for the situation. I'm just saying we sue everyone all the time.
Yes, and I will agree with that. I mean, we are extremely litigious in this day and age.
Yeah.
So you are opening yourself up, but I'm sure when you call up, they're like, you can no longer hold us liable for whatever happens from this point forward.
Well, for sure.
Say yes while we record.
While you scroll down on your phone that...
Accept these terms.
Yeah, 18 pages that are so small you can't read.
That's basically it. But I do agree. It's a conversation in the office. It's not a physical test.
Yeah.
It's a conversation on the phone. It's not that different, even though it seems different.
Doctors are weird, too, because you go to them and you just assume they're going to give you the best care.
That's a hell of an assumption.
And it depends on which doctor you get.
100%.
Yeah.
Doctors either care or don't care.
I'm not impressed with my doctor.
I know your doctor. I like your doctor. He's funny.
The whole reason I went there...
Convenience.
Well, one of the reasons the reason I picked that location was it's across the street from my house. But like, I went there for other checkups. I went there to get a checkup, to get a physical, and he didn't give me a physical. But he damn sure made sure I walked out with some meds.
That's see, I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that. Yeah, see,
I mean, he didn't do the turn your head and cough, which I'm like, that's been part of every physical I've ever been a part of my entire life.
So I go to the same doctor's office as you, different doctor. My guy loves the turn your head.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a big fan. But I know your doc, and he's hilarious.
Yeah. He spends a lot more time chatting me up than does checking me out.
Yeah, he's like from like the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Like I love your doc.
He's a trip.
I've spent some time with him. But, that's how I chose that doc.
Yeah.
I used to work for I was the marketing guy for a physical therapy center. And I would go around and meet all these docs. And my wife was like, we need a doc. And I was like, these guys over here are actually pretty cool.
And they're close.
And that was it. It was convenience. And
Yeah.
they were cool. I didn't actually like look into how many lives have they saved.
Well, I don't go to a primary care for that. I mean,
No, I go to primary care to like check the box. Go,
Yeah.
look, take my blood. Tell me if something's fucked up.
exactly. He
And
does
then-
love some blood tests.
Yeah, they love that.
That's like every time I go in there.
And then they go, oh, well, if you got a problem, go here.
Yeah.
And because that's the way insurance is these days. You have
Yeah.
to get referred to some nonsense. So it's like, you got to have someone who's willing to refer you and is easy
But
to
as
talk
men,
to.
we're to the age now where we should be getting those uncomfortable checks. And
Oh, yeah.
he hasn't checked me for any of it.
No, because,
But he's feeding me some pills.
well, there you go. Enjoy your pill. I'd love to defend him, but I feel like
Yeah.
this is a really shitty situation. You shouldn't just be handed pills.
Yeah.
And they always try to hand me pills, and I'm like, nah, I'm not a pill guy. And they're like, well, you could try doing this. And I'm like, now we're talking.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's the answer. We'll see, man. I'll tell you, here's how we'll know. If 10 years, if we're both dead,
Yeah.
bad doctor.
Yeah.
But if we're kicking it,
Especially if it's for something he never checked.
yeah.
Honey, sue his ass. here's my my source right here.
I should start documenting. Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the podcast that we get to point back to.
Yep.
Do you want to do a deli?
It's deli time, isn't it?
It is. It's about that time.
Our friend Adam brought us a deli last week,
Yes.
and this is from the Virginia Beer Company. You talk. I was
Yeah, I
padding
want one
for-
of those cold ones,
I know.
though.
Just read it while I.
So
I was
this is-
padding for you, thinking you had to go get the deli, but the deli's on my side.
Yes.
of the bar.
So this is the Virginia Beer Company, which, for the record, I haven't really enjoyed any of the beers that come out of the Virginia Beer Company.
I can't. I know I've tried a bunch, but none.
Like,
what-
none of them jump out as like,
Yeah,
that's
what's
an
their
awesome beer.
signature like
I don't know.
beer?
I don't know. Like, I can't think of one that was amazing. But this sounds amazing. This
Looks
is
amazing.
called Evil Santa. It's got a candy cane ass can, and it says it's a peppermint hot chocolate milk stout. Now, if I could design a holiday beer, it would be a peppermint milk chocolate milk stout. Like, I couldn't
See the
be-
mean looking Santa on there on the candy
he's-
cane.
He's got the dope beard and sunglasses on.
That's
and
cool. You
mustache.
opened that one to share with the other guys, and they took a hummingbird's beak out of it.
Yeah, that was cool. Well, I'll make up for it. I'm gonna drink this thing down. I'm cautiously optimistic about this beer, even though.
You want to break the fourth wall and tell
Oh
them
yeah, I mean Ely tried it. Ely tried it when he was here. That's why I did crack a can. I wanted to
7.0.
get, Oh yeah, all these holiday beers are strong.
Brewed in can. It's made in Williamsburg. Stout with peppermint, vanilla, marshmallows, cocoa nibs or cacao nibs, cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, and milk sugar. This sounds like all ingredients I really like.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. I've had one sip now.
Your face didn't look like you were excited about it.
Well, because I was.
This is the first sip. We know.
I'll be very honest. On my first sip, I was a little underwhelmed. I did like that there was a little peppermint that popped me, but I wanted more. That's my first sip. So, I mean, like, maybe it'll grow on me. Yeah, it's getting a little more peppermint in the second sip.
I'm getting the cacao heavy.
Oh, it's chocolate
It's
heavy.
chocolate.
Did they say there was lactose in here?
Well, it says milk stout.
So we assume.
Yeah, so
Because it's sweet.
milk sugar.
Yeah, that's lactose.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's sweet.
It's sweet.
Not as pepperminty as the can would have you believe.
No, but when I breathe in, like through my mouth, if I breathe through my mouth, I can pick up on peppermint in there. So it exists. Sometimes in a beer you don't taste it, but you can breathe it, if that makes any sense.
I see what you're saying.
You breathe
feel
it,
the
it's a little
cooling
cold,
sensation.
right?
Marshmallow.
Don't know about that.
Well, marshmallow's a weird one, right? Like,
Yeah, because it's gross.
you don't like marshmallow? Do you like marshmallows?
Not anymore.
Okay.
I've aged out of marshmallows.
So you don't like s'mores and s'more flavor stuff?
No, I'll eat a s'more.
Okay.
But I was like, I don't. There was
Yeah, I mean, who eats a plain marshmallow is not my jam.
there was a time in my life where like a marshmallow was like,
A treat.
oh my gosh, there's marshmallows here, and I would just eat marshmallows. Right?
Yeah.
Put them in hot chocolate and loved it. And now it's like, I could take or leave a marshmallow.
I'll drink them in hot chocolate. I'll eat them on a s'more. I'll occasionally roast one on a fire.
Yeah.
But popping a marshmallow in my mouth in and of itself does not intrigue me.
You know what I think fucked me up?
What?
Peeps.
That'll do it, dude. Those are pretty damn gross.
This is the worst marshmallow in the world.
It is.
And it started to become kind of how I define marshmallows in my
Yeah.
head.
Now, I like marshmallow fluff, but I never eat it. Now, and I like marshmallow flavoring, but why I brought it up is you see it in a beer, you see it listed, and you're like,
Why?
It's such a hard, it's a very faint flavor anyway, in and of itself.
But putting a marshmallow in there, it's like putting cotton candy in there. You're just putting sugar.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything.
Well, and when it's got so much peppermint and cacao, like that's going to overpower any marshmallow flavoring.
I think my opinion is being made rather quickly here, actually. I'm going to lead with Ely's.
Is it
review.
boozy?
Yeah.
I feel like the booze is overpowering.
No, there's.
I feel like. Go ahead. I'll say mine.
I'm going to give you Ely's review.
Okay.
Because I did ask him for his review before he left, and he told me he took a big sip of it. Because he goes, oh, yeah, I got deli this. He took a big sip.
Yeah, he was excited.
And he goes, yeah, that's a 2. That's what he cut it. He cut it to the quick.
And he wanted to like it.
And I thought to myself, that fucking curmudgeon can't even get behind a holiday beer this close to the holidays. Now I'm drinking it, and I literally, as I'm going through it, I like the peppermint. I think there's a little peppermint there. I taste the cocoa nib. I like that. I like the milk stout of it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I can
It's
break
smooth.
out.
I like the smoothness.
Smoothness. All these are the positive things, right? It's smooth. The milk stout's nice. The peppermint's nice. The cocoa nibs are nice. When I put it all together, if I break them out individually, they're good flavors. I put them together, there's something that makes me fucking feel sick
Yeah.
when I drink this.
Maybe too sweet, too much milk sugar.
It's something.
Yeah.
And the stout's not right. Virginia Beer Company has failed me again, as far as I'm concerned.
It's kind of their thing.
I was gonna say 2.5. But the more and more I'm drinking it, the more I don't want to. And that makes me want to go down a step. I think I might match Ely on this.
Ooh, was not expecting that.
It's just all the things that I like about it together are bad. It's a 2.
Ooh, not good Virginia beer.
I mean, I'm going to finish it, and that's the highest praise I can give it, but I'm choking it.
I don't think it's that bad because, as you said, I think the cocoa's good. I think the peppermint's good. I think the smoothness of it's good. So I think this is slightly above average on taste, but the thing that's preventing it from going higher. So I'm gonna go above a 2.5,
Okay.
but not by much because the finish, the boozy finish,
It's too much.
is too much, and the taste after you take your drink, the chocolate and the peppermint goes away, and it finishes booze heavy. And like you said, it's a sicky booze.
Yeah.
It's not like a normal booze.
It's almost like a chocolate schnapps.
Yeah. And it leaves a weird funk in your mouth.
Yeah.
But I do like the initial taste.
Yeah, there's great qualities.
I like what they tried with it. I'm going to go 3. It's a giving time. It's a giving season.
Okay.
Did
you go 3 knowing, though, that Ely and I had 2s on the board?
No, I was going to go 3.
Okay.
I knew what Ely, I'd heard Ely's, but I was going to go 3 anyway. And I thought you were going to net somewhere between a 2.5.
I was 2.5, but
Yeah.
it's like the sickly, the boozy sweetness. It's actually making me tired.
Why'd they go for such a booze heavy finish? Like, it doesn't need to be 7.
Nah, you dumb that down?
Yeah, you knock it down to something that starts with a 5 or maybe even a 4.
It might
4,
actually
low
taste
5.
really
Yeah.
good.
Take some of that sugar out of it. Yeah, because could you imagine crushing a couple of those?
Nah.
Your belly would be sick, and you might just have diabetes. Like, it's really sicky sweet. But you know, Virginia beer, you know what they do well? They do cool labels, cool names, and that's why we keep trying their stuff.
That's it.
But Adam, thank you for bringing it, because I mean,
I'm not mad at Adam for letting me try it.
I would have seen that and thought the exact same thing he probably thought. Like, oh, that'll be cool. That'll be fun. That'll probably be good.
Peppermint hot chocolate.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't beat that combo. Yeah, you can.
Maybe they needed more peppermint to help cut the booze.
They need less booze, more peppermint.
Yeah, because I feel like there's plenty of chocolate in there.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I can't even read my fucking
Handwriting?
You know what? I'm
You're not even finishing that.
I'm not. I tried.
Yeah.
I gave it everything I have. I'm going to go back to this Founders All Day IPA.
You gave the old college try.
Oh, speaking of the old college try, that beer sucks. Yeah, I'm good with the 2. Speaking of the old college try, now we went to college at a certain time
Yes.
in the world.
A time that I thought was pretty uneventful, but now that look back on the time before us and after us, kind of appreciate growing up in that era.
Hell yeah. We were just before cell phones were huge.
Yes. And internet.
Internet was there.
I saw internet, and I know we've gone over this, but first time I saw internet was in college.
Yeah, it was
So,
there.
like-
It existed.
Yeah. And cell phones existed, but like,
But it wasn't a thing.
you had to call somebody at night on the weekend.
Yeah, it wasn't ubiquitous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was
It was
just
for
there.
emergency use only.
It was for when you had to do a term paper.
Yeah.
But again,
Well, I'm talking cell phones. Like, if you had a cell phone, like, you didn't call anybody on it. It was like if your car broke down.
Yeah, you're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I have a cell phone. No, it was.
Or you had one that was permanently mounted in your car.
But there was another thing that became very popular in that time, and I'm not talking about Limp Bizkit.
Which I could go on and on. So good.
Dude.
So good.
But
I
like,
love some Limp Bizkit.
But so I used them as an example because I think
Red backwards hats?
I think yes. I think Limp Bizkit was the band that would play in the background when a woman got a tattoo on her lower back.
Yes.
That was the
sound-
band.
I think it was mandatory, right?
I'm pretty sure. It was all about the he said, she said bullshit. You know?
Yeah.
And then
it's just one of those days.
just one of those days where I'm gonna get what has been affectionately known as the tramp stamp.
The tramp stamp.
The lower back tattoo.
LBT.
Just
lower
above
back tat.
just above the ass. Right there on that lower back. And it was made famous by the Wedding Crashers when
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn looked at it and he said, might as well be a bullseye.
All right, stop. Flashback. We're time machining back to those days.
Okay.
You saw that. What went through your mind? Were you into it? Were you not into it?
The tramp
Was it-
stamp?
Yeah. Was it a good thing?
I
Was
love
it-
a tramp stamp.
Okay.
I love a tramp
We're
stamp.
on the same page then.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I have no ill will towards the tramp stamp.
Yeah.
I think the tramp stamp is the best tattoo you can get
It's for a lady.
for not my lady.
Yeah.
For a lady.
For a lady.
Yes. For a lady.
So you wouldn't like your lady to have one?
No, I'd actually be fine with it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't impact me positive or negative.
Your lady doesn't have any tattoos?
No.
Neither does mine.
No. But she still wanted to get tattoos, and at this age I'm like, maybe we should hold out.
Yeah.
Like, this is not the time. But part of me's like, it kind of is the time. I don't know.
I mean, maybe if it's LBT.
Look, if she's gonna get the old tramp stamp,
Maybe
then,
a nice butterfly.
I'd like something tribal. I'd like to go all the way back to the 90s.
The original.
I'd like her to go all the way back to the regret from then. But so the tramp stamp became ubiquitous.
What was worse than tribal? Like, obviously at the time I thought they were all awesome. I thought tribals were awesome, but like...
No, the only thing worse was the barbed wire.
Barbed wire. Yes. Barbed wire around your arm was awful.
Yeah, barbed wire was like, okay, I get that tribal's cool, but I'm just going to go barbed wire.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's even douchier than the tribal.
It really is. Like,
It is. It's unfortunate.
You think I'm supposed to see that and go, oh my God, that guy has a piece of barbed wire around his arm.
But you
How
could
hardcore.
You get a tribal like shape done in barbed wire on a tramp stamp, lower back. That's what I'm talking about. And you know what I want to
That's the peanut butter cup of 90s tattoos.
Yeah, and you know what I want to see dead in the center? A heart.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know that there's love.
Yeah.
It's protected by all this barbed wire. In the tribal, like, so it looks like a vine that gets bigger in the center and then gets thinner as
Yeah.
it goes out to the hip.
Points.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
I do miss those days of like so-and-so getting a tattoo and then being like, it's just some weird obscure. This represents such and such.
Absolutely.
It's just like, just say you like the tattoo. I wanted a tattoo and I like this one.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
No, this heart represents the heart that lives inside me.
Yes.
And this barbed wire represents the strength that encompasses the heart.
And the protection of my family.
Yeah, you gotta, yeah.
It's always tied back to family.
Well, and it's like, and this butterfly is my great grandmother who's always looking over me. And I'm like,
yes.
that chick would have hated you getting this tattoo. Like,
Yeah.
Your great grandmother would have been disgusted.
Right there in the cum hole. Like, there's going to be puddles of cum on that. Like, I'm not impressed. Yeah, no. Trust me. Your grandmother's not happy. Mildred is not going. No, I'm pretty excited about
Yeah.
that heart. That bullseye.
Yeah.
But that's the tramp stamp was it's ubiquitous in the 90s and early 2000s.
It's sentimental to us.
It just is.
Yeah.
It's just a thing. And then, like I said, it got popularized by the Wedding Crashers. And then it kind of fell out of favor. Like no respectable woman.
Oh, it was getting mocked.
Yeah, no respectable woman would get the tramp stamp. And you see them all around the beach, right? You see them, they're running around
On
in
the
bathing suit.
40-year-old ladies.
And you're like, look at that tramp stamp. You're like, she was wild in college.
Oh, she knew how to have a good time.
Oh, and she's still probably a little wild. Like, let's be honest. And you know what? No, it's fucked up. Is there's a dude that's like, I mowed the lawn, I did the shit, and nothing came of it.
I married the chick with the tramp stamp thinking she was going to put it on me.
Nothing came of it. And
I never thought about that, though. Like, if your wife, like, has one and you walk around the beach, like, are people, like, side-eyeing that? Like,
okay, let me just put the question right back at you. You see a woman walk by with the tramp stamp, do you side-eye it? Do you have thoughts that go through your mind?
I don't think negatively about them.
I didn't say negative.
I know.
Saying, do you have thoughts?
I think that person in the 90s
Or 2000s.
or early 2000s liked to have a good time and thought they were original.
Okay. So you just sugarcoated that shit, much in the way Virginia Beer did the Evil Santa. But I'm going to translate.
I don't want to offend anybody.
I understand that, and I'm going to translate.
I know we have listeners that this is going to...
Yeah, I get that.
Okay.
I get that. But you see, it's not my job to make them feel better.
Okay.
It's my job to translate what you just said.
Okay.
You see her walk by and you think she liked to have a good time, i.e. double team. That's what you just said. That's what you just said.
No, I definitely think she drank a lot.
No. She drank a lot, but she also was into being sexy. There's no denying that.
Yeah, there's definitely that.
Because the tramp stamp was sexy.
Well, you didn't get it and not show it off.
It was sexy.
Yeah.
Belly button rings and tramp stamps were designed to be sexy.
Well, you have to have a belly button ring, a tramp stamp, and your thong has to be showing on the sides.
Oh, like the high thong.
Yeah.
Look, Russ, you can barely see the lines.
Yeah.
No,
like it's coming up out of the jeans. Like that. That's
Okay.
like the trifecta.
Okay. There it is.
Yeah.
No, and I'm not
For the
trying to
younger
be-
listeners, that was the 90s.
Yes. So I'm not being disparaging when I say like that's a mark of like, I'm a badass, sexy woman.
Yeah.
The tramp stamp, the belly button ring, high thong. This is the
Yeah.
mark of a sexy ass woman.
Low waist
Now,
pants, high thong. You're showing your stomach and,
Yeah.
your LBT off.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's what it was. Now it fell out of favor, unfortunately.
Yeah, because high-waisted jeans came in back
they
in from the 80s.
Covered that all up. So all of a sudden the tramp stamp was no longer in vogue. I really do think Wedding Crashers killed it when they said might as well be a bullseye.
Yeah, that joke
that was
probably.
that's when it jumped the shark.
And that was what, 2005?
Yeah.
2006?
That's when it jumped the shark. It was
Yeah, because it was probably popular. Had a good 10-year run from like 95 to 2005.
So that's the moment, right?
Isn't it weird how something cultural like that can literally make it jump the shark like that?
But it was that quick.
Yeah.
It was that
Oh,
quick.
yeah.
Like boom. All of a sudden it went from sexy to trashy. And we did not equate that with trashy.
No.
We equated
Not at
that
all.
with sexy. We were like,
Yeah.
oh damn, that's badass.
Yeah,
In
that
the
was
same
just
way
like-
barbed wire on a dude's bicep was just badass.
That was like permanent manicure, red nails, or permanent, like, it's just part of the sexy look.
yeah. And so I'm not crushing it.
Be interesting to interview some tattoo artists and be like, oh, you've been in the game for 30 years, did you see this fall off? Did you see the...
Yes. So it was sent in this week.
Yeah.
And there was an article about how the tramp stamp is back. And
Nice.
and these tattoo artists were trying to like pontificate on why this is.
Well, everything's cyclical, so it only makes sense, right?
They said that the reason this is because the women who have the lower back tattoo are now the mothers of children
Young party girls?
who are old enough to actually have tattoos.
Yeah.
Now you think about who these mothers are. They're the cool moms.
Yeah.
So these are the cool moms.
Yeah, because the moms in our age bracket are fun and cool and do stuff with the kids, and
Yeah.
we have healthy relationships with our kids.
for the most part.
Yeah,
And so now these kids are of age. We're talking about the elder millennial
Yeah.
to the Gen Z, right?
yeah,
These women, apparently, according to all these tattoo artists in this article that was sent in, they're embracing it. And they're like, my mom has this and she's cool and sexy. And like, this is the cool, sexy thing to do. And they're seeing it as a way to embrace their sexuality and their rebelliousness. And they're doing it again.
that's wild.
So the tramp stamp is back. I shouldn't call it a tramp stamp.
LBT,
Yeah.
lower back tat.
Yeah, the slut mark.
So let me make sure I'm clear here. Slut mark is better than tramp stamp.
Well, when you say it,
It sounds weird. Doesn't
it
sound so good.
No, it sounds worse.
Okay.
Okay, I'll take that one back.
Okay.
I'll take that one back.
Objection! Hearsay!
We'll clean that up in post.
Yeah. So, what's the? I'm trying to think of like the proper.
LBT, lower back tat.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. All right. The mark of the whore. The scarlet letter. The scarlet tattoo. Is that it? I'm not getting better.
Objection! Hearsay!
I'll run it back.
The lower back bullseye.
Okay. You nailed it. You nailed it.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that
Oh,
dang
that's
old internet.
not the one.
That's what Boomhauer would say.
Yeah. No, look, but they're saying tattoo artists are saying that more and more young women are coming in and they're being like, I would like to get a lower back tattoo because they look at it as their moms are cool, their moms are sexy, and like this is a way to embrace their
Is that a touch of
sexuality.
hipster in there too?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because anything that was nostalgic, cool.
Yeah.
And what's funny is as I'm reading through this article, a lot of them are saying this will probably be a trend for like 5 years.
Yeah.
and then it'll fall off again.
And then in 25 more years.
But there's a certain element of the population that's coming in, and apparently TikTok stars are going in, and they're like, "I'm getting this tattoo," and they're getting millions of likes, and then it's creating arguments and controversy, where you get people coming in saying, "No, this is a trashy look," and then there's a lot of people coming in going, "No, you get it, girl. Like, way to embrace this." And so, like, I'm excited to see that the lower back tattoo is coming back into vogue.
I feel like in today's world the way tattoos are, where like literally face and neck tattoos are acceptable. I feel like a lower back tat isn't.
Dude,
it doesn't even like count.
It's pretty vanilla.
Yeah, like.
No, let's be honest. Getting a neck tattoo, that's extreme.
Hand tattoos, face tattoos.
That's all more extreme.
Literally girls are getting like, and people, I mean, if we're being honest, like full sleeves. Like that's more aggressive than a lower back tat. Like
lower back tats hidden 95% of the time. You put on a bathing suit, now you see it, and it does catch your eye.
Well, and you can wear a bathing suit that you don't see it.
Yeah, it's a good point. The high bathing suit,
yeah,
why
or
not?
a one piece, like.
But it is a look, and it is something that I do think it draws the eye.
Yeah,
and it makes you go, "Oh, she's sexy," in its own way.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm a
fan. I mean, I'm a fan.
I've always been a fan.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to see that it's having a resurgence.
For sure.
Like this is not necessarily a bad thing. And you hear me talking all this shit, but that's mostly just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
You know, I like a little lower back tattoo. It's sexy.
I mean, like I said, I'm a child of the 90s, and I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for it.
That's gonna be the problem. Is there gonna be like a bunch of 20-year-olds that are now just attracting like older men?
That would be weird if like.
What if that's the whole thing?
20-year-olds were, if like 40 and 50-year-old and 60-year-old men were suddenly attracted to 20-year-olds because of lower back tats.
Well, I've never known an older man to be attracted to younger women. This is just not how it works.
Well, it's going to be the lower back tat that's going to send you over the edge.
Yes, because for me, my eyes wander with my age.
Yeah, of course. I mean, give or take a couple years.
I mean, I find myself just smoking cigarettes outside of retirement homes. Just trying to become, that sugar daddy.
You think, but that's a valid question. Do you think some of the 20-somethings would be getting it, hoping to catch the eye? I doubt that. I don't think that's ever the case. I don't
know, man.
I think everything most women do is for themselves and other women. Anyway.
Yeah, we as men, we equate it. We're like, oh, she's doing that to get our eye. They're literally competing with other women.
Yeah.
Just so other women stop talking shit.
Well, and I don't like most of the stuff women do to quote unquote catch the eyes of men. Like,
but you have disagreed.
Over.
Like, I think a long fingernail is sexy. You're like, doesn't look great. I see a lower back tattoo, longer fingernails, like blue eyeshadow. I'm like, you.
Well, dude, the eye makeup gets me, but like most makeup, I find like women wear too much of it. Like. A lot of the times, I think they go too far, in my opinion. But
no,
again, they're not doing it for me, and obviously you shouldn't do it for yourself. But like, it's just weird.
Here's a pro tip for the lady listeners out there, and all young and old. The best makeup is the makeup that you don't even know they're wearing.
Yep. Yeah.
You can clean things up, you can shape things, but if I don't know you're wearing makeup, you just became a natural beauty. Natural beauty is the most beautiful thing in the world.
Well, I don't want my wife to look like somebody totally different in the morning. Like, who is this? Good gracious.
No. I remember one time when I was a little kid, my mom got her nails done, and she got like extensions and like painted nails. And she came home. I literally cried. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I was like, she's trying to attract other men.
Yeah.
Why did you just change your stripes?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
That's not who you are.
Yeah, like, it upset me.
I wonder what your dad thought.
I mean, I'm sure he was like, all right, let's go back here and have a talk.
Yeah,
and then get rid of that shit.
Because they say, like, your spouse is cheating when, like...
Oh, they change up things.
Yeah, they change hairstyles or lose a bunch of weight, start getting in shape, and, like, wearing different clothes.
It's a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like, Oh, now you're into that.
Yeah, that's
Now
why
you
I
got
don't
a
try.
you got a lower back tattoo. Well, so I got this lower back tattoo, and I'm hoping my wife doesn't think it's a sign. I just thought now that it's cool again,
Yeah.
and so that is why I brought up the barbed wire with the heart, because I find it very special now that it's on my back.
As you should. And it means something.
It does. It means my heart's protected. You know, my heart is protected by all this family and religion. That's what the barbed wire
Well, I guess they're probably, I guess you could interview any tattoo artist, and there probably are like certain themes that just get cyclical. So they're probably like, all right, at least I'm not doing like, you know, a compass or, you know, whatever the hot new trend is, you know, like a cute poster, you know, there's sayings, you know, inspirational sayings.
Oh, the hang in there cat is the number one tattoo
Oh, that's
of
a huge.
2022.
I thought it was no regrets.
Dude. My daughter was wearing a shirt today that had no regrets on it. And I dropped a no regrets joke, and it meant nothing to her.
She doesn't get it.
And I was like, I'm just going to move on.
Yeah.
Just let it be. What can you
When will they be getting them?
Lower back tattoo?
Yeah.
Ooh. Now you see? That just made me change the whole opinion.
I was
of
going to
lower back
ask,
tattoo.
do you have an opinion on that?
I do now.
Yeah.
I do now. I'm not a fan.
Well, you got 5 or 6 years before you have to worry about it.
Do I? Because my youngest daughter. So my oldest daughter, I don't think will ever like. But my youngest daughter, every time she sees a woman with like that, she's like, she's so beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my youngest daughter is gonna be tatted up, except for that spot on her lower back, pristine, pristine. I don't care if everything else is tatted.
Just avoid.
It's just
But then it becomes its own tattoo.
it's its own bullseye. You know you can't win, Troy.
You can't. You
No matter
cannot.
how I run the numbers.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll just die, and then I won't have to worry about it. You know, as the Buddhists say, you know, death is the absence of pain, and that is true happiness.
You will just be hopefully by that time they're covered in tattoos, you'll be worried about paying for weddings and all the other headaches that come with.
Nah, you just
Children.
hope you just punch out. Just punch out on a good
Wake
note.
up dead one morning.
Yeah, man. Like I was watching the latest episode of Yellowstone, and not giving.
I know
any,
I can't watch it now because I don't have
well, I'm not giving.
cable.
I'm not giving any crazy spoiler. Like they had this one old guy show up. And
Yeah.
so if you haven't seen it, yeah, fuck you. This is a bit of a spoiler, but it's irrelevant. If you didn't see it coming, you're not paying attention. This old guy goes out. Is it a guy you've never met?
Yeah.
In all the episodes of Yellowstone, we're 5 seasons in, never met. And this old guy goes out on this ride with him. And you're like, why the hell is this old guy here?
On the horses, like
Yeah, goes out chasing the horses, chasing the cows, and doing the horse thing.
doing all the cowboy shit.
And they keep talking about, you know, like, hey, be careful, old man. You know,
Yeah.
joking around. Well, the dude dies in his sleep under a tree.
Wait, what? Who could have seen that coming?
No, it's like the whole thing. It was so ham-handed.
Yeah.
But like the guy dies
Is
in
it-
his sleep under a tree.
Let me interrupt your story. Is it getting worse? Like, is Yellowstone not as good as the first few seasons?
Dude, this last episode, it was literally shot just so they could get a cinematography. Like
Yeah.
there was no action, there was no plot development, nothing happened.
It is shot beautifully.
It was shot beautifully, and they let this old man just die under a tree.
Nice.
And I was like,
Aw.
good for this old man to die under a tree. But this whole episode was set up to like bring all the pain.
Yeah.
In the next 2. That's what's happening.
Okay.
But this was the one where they're going to get their cinematography Oscar.
Yeah.
That's what they're going for. But when this old guy died under the tree, I was like, I get that. Like that's
Yeah.
the ultimate dream. You know, you just go out doing what you love. You pull your cowboy hat down over your
Yep.
face, go to
Good.
sleep under a tree, and just check the fuck out.
Gonna grab a few winks real quick.
Yeah, and then stay there.
Yeah. Like a dog, like an old dog.
That sounds fantastic.
I haven't seen Spot around for a few hours. Where'd he go?
I get a bad feeling that I'm not going to get that hookup,
No. Yeah, I have that feeling too.
you know? But that would be a nice way to go.
That pisses me off about dogs. That's how all dogs used to die. Now they make us do the dirty work.
Yeah, now I got to kill
Yeah.
the dog. And I got to bring in some other asshole to kill the dog. Mm-hmm. Like, I wish I had the fucking gumption to just shoot the dog myself.
I think that'd be frowned upon in today's world.
I get that, but like, when I had Colby, that was the dog that like
Yeah.
all other dogs will be measured by Colby as far as I'm concerned. And
Yeah,
we
but
had
you
that
wouldn't want
dog.
to shot. You wouldn't want to shoot that dog.
No, but I kind of did because like they were gonna put him down any damn way,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Well, can't I just shoot him?" And like everyone thought I was crazy. Now, granted, that was like a half-hearted, but I was like, it was a 40% thought in my mind. Like,
Yeah.
why don't I just take him out? Everyone was like, "You can't do that. That's illegal." And I'm kind of like, but that's my dog.
It's only illegal because of where you live. If you lived on 40 acres, a few
But, like,
miles down the
yeah.
road.
You just
Yeah.
end it. Like he didn't even see it coming. Like we're
Yeah.
both staring at the same squirrel, and I just.
Yep.
And everyone was like, "No, you're an asshole." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
But then you'd have the trauma. You'd have the trauma of seeing that. You'd have PTSD from like.
I have PTSD from dying anyway. Let's double down. I had to watch this motherfucker come in here and shoot him up
Yeah.
while I held him.
Yeah,
And then
but-
I watched him go limp in my arms. I have PTSD from that.
Yeah, but seeing his brain exit his skull would probably be a little more traumatic.
I'd use a 22.
Your luck or my luck, it'd be like you'd shoot the dog and it wouldn't kill it. Running in circles. You'd be like, oh, no.
But I mean, isn't that how it used to be? There was only
did.
two ways.
It
There was
did.
only two ways. The dog either walked off
Yeah.
and died,
Yeah.
or you were like, "Buddy, it's so bad. Like, you and I would have a burger together, and then you shoot him in the head."
Yeah.
Like, I don't. There's no right or way. There's no right or wrong way. I guess
No.
it's just losing a dog sucks. Now you got me in a whole nother level. I should have just shaved his back, put a tramp stamp down it, I could send him out in the woods.
Well, now you got a deaf dog, so you're good. That'd be a good one because he wouldn't hear anything.
That is the best excuse for shooting. I tell you what, I'd shoot that dog right now.
Doesn't he look a little sick?
like, look, he's having a hard time breathing, that French bulldog. Listen to him snore. That
Look.
can't be healthy.
I'm going to fire a warning shot, and if he takes off,
Fair enough. Fair enough. But if he doesn't have enough wherewithal
That's right.
to run when a warning shot gets fired
That's
by
right.
his head,
yeah.
then I have every right.
Oh, how do we go down this road?
I don't know how any of this stuff happens on this
I
show.
don't know.
I'll never understand it.
But I am glad the LBT is back.
Dude, ecstatic about that. Like, this is a good
So
thing.
over the next few summers, if we go on any beach trips, we'll have to keep our eyes peeled.
I just think that the likelihood of you seeing one is increasing, and it doesn't necessarily have to be on a wrinkly back.
Well, I was going to say, so there's another question. Will it only be younger girls getting them, and guys probably, but like the 40-year-old who never get, will the 90s girl who never got the LBT go, F it, I'm doing it now?
If it gets cool enough, that'll
Yeah.
take a massive swing in the number of lower back tattoos before that becomes a thing again.
Yeah.
Because that's a jump. Because that's someone who already went through, oh, my friends had that, and then they understood the stigma of it. But they also saw when it was the coolest. I don't know. That's a tough one.
I thought about getting one, honestly.
A lower back tattoo.
Like a big tribal design across my back, like across.
But
like,
yours would have been a little higher up, right?
well, it would have been low, but it would have been, the size of a piece of paper. It would have wrapped around almost to the front.
Would you regret that right now?
100%.
Okay.
100%. But I had a friend get something like that, and I was like, that is badass.
And it looked dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I always liked the Celtic cross on the back. That was always my...
I always thought George Clooney's tribal tattoo in Dusk Till Dawn was badass. Do you remember that?
I do now that you say it.
It was a tribal design that went all the way up and down his left arm, literally started on the back of his hand, wrapped all the way around his arm, and came up his neck some.
Yeah, and it was aggressive and it would look
Oh,
good.
yeah.
All
But he
right.
looked like a badass, too.
He did. But that's also George Clooney.
Yeah,
Like, I'm like not cool.
exactly.
Like, he was voted literally the sexiest man alive.
Yeah, you weren't?
Not yet.
Not yet. Yet
But-
being the key word.
Well,
The night's still young.
look, as I said at the front end of this episode, I'll say it again at the tail end of this episode. The eternal optimist.
That's right.
I believe that one day they're going to wake up and go, you know who's the sexiest man alive? That motherfucker from the Inside the Pallet House podcast.
And then it'll be me. And then you'll be crestfallen.
Again. The old audio drink boat strikes
I was going to
again.
say, we're not lacking confidence.
No. No. But I'm not right.
No, not at all.
Okay, fair enough.
Neither am I.
That's why I don't need the steroids.
Yeah.
Because my brain says, you look pretty good.
Yeah. I look in the mirror and I go, that guy's pretty handsome.
That guy's got it. Whatever it is.
I mean, it's not an attractive body and muscles, but it's it.
You know what the problem is? Not enough testicles. You're not eating testicles and livers.
And
we'll get you there, Troy.
You need,
about $10,000
$120,000 plus dollars a year just to shoot into your body.
Well, clearly.
Yeah.
I thought that was a given. I think
it really should have been a given. We're all kind of idiots to have gone on this ride with all these guys and probably a lot of girls where it's like, look at that good, clean living.
No, it doesn't exist.
No.
The closest thing I ever saw to clean living was Lance Armstrong, and he ruined it for me.
Oh, yeah.
Ruined it for me.
But if you do see people that are just healthy individuals that I have friends that are triathletes and stuff and they work out and stuff, but they look like ripped AIDS patients.
Yeah, that's all you can do. That's the best you can do.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You look like someone who's got cancer, but like the best cancer?
Yeah.
That's not helpful.
Yeah. You don't get the bulk for sure.
You're never going to get it.
No.
I've actually been thinking about trying to incorporate old school, like creatine, protein, in my diet. But then I'm like, I don't really know if I want to get big.
Well, and then you got to start putting more calories in too.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you follow those World's Strongest Men, you see what they eat. It's insane.
They literally, the chickens are so sore just from the eggs. They're pumping eggs.
And then when they're spent, they eat the chicken.
You're damn right they do.
And they figure out every meal they eat.
No, it's all it's all science. And they're doing steroids.
Yeah.
So let's not get it twisted. But man, full circle, tramp stamps. In fact, full circle is the name of the fucking episode.
Or I thought you were going to say tramp stamps and steroids.
I say we wrap this thing up.
Sounds good to me.
We get this closer to the holidays. One
Next
step at
week,
a time.
Drink challenge.
Right?
Yeah.
Or we're going to do a double next week and the drink challenge will come out after. I don't know how that's
I think we
work.
should do the drink challenge first.
Well, that would just be flipping the because I know I'm doing the drink challenge as the second thing because I've known if I've learned anything.
No, drink. Do it first, and then the second one's fun.
Oh,
Do a loose second episode.
We've never done it in that order.
We haven't.
No, we've always done the first episode.
Well,
and then the drink
we're
challenge.
usually drinking during our first episode, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay,
We'll
flip
see.
it.
We'll talk it out.
I like this, Troy. I like it. To everyone out there who's been listening, look, thank you guys so much for tuning in.
We have a new problem this year.
What?
It's been you and me almost all year, so we got to get some bodies in here.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to be the worst drink challenge ever.
Yeah, I liked mine better.
New rule this year: you can't vote for yourself. All right, I guess I like yours the best, Brendan.
The first tie in the history of the drink challenge. You're absolutely right. We do need to figure that out.
A tie even the abacus couldn't mess up. 1-1.
No, the abacus could fuck it up. He's the best.
Yeah.
Now, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you here next week. If you haven't had a chance to head over to Nectar Sunglasses, drop Abacus in the coupon code. Get those last-minute stocking stuffers that always work. And if you're looking for the big stocking stuffer, head over to Screen Door Mortgage. And don't have to drop anything in coupon code. Just tell Jimmy Inside the Pallet House sent you. If you haven't had a chance to find us on Facebook, you can always do so. It's easy. Just look up Inside the Pallet House Podcast. Or if you want to send us topics, please do so at insidethepallethouse@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at ITPH Podcast, but we won't look at it.
We're still going with that.
And if you're trying to send out last-minute Christmas gifts, you can always tell your family and friends, I donated money to Inside the Pallet House on their Venmo in your name. And that Venmo would be
At Inside the Pallet House.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. Cheers.
Cheers. That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?